speaker is going to be giving his project 5. He's definitely an inspiration for me. He has learned something that most people get wisdom only after they reach 40. Our Hindu mythology very clearly says that if you take care of your health and your body, everything around you will fall in place. Most people realize it as soon as they hit 40 years. I don't know why. But there are few people who read it, who do something about it, and that is our next speaker. He has started writing his meeting minutes in such a way that you can just frame it and keep it in banjara Toastmasters club. Something everybody would like to read. And his evaluator is going to be Kishore. Please read out the guidelines for Project 5.
Actually, Raghu, inspiration for both of us. And, the objectives of Project 5 are your body speaks. Use stance, movement, gestures, facial expressions and eye contact to express your message and achieve your speech's purpose. Make your body language smooth and natural. Timer, please note, time 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Nikhil.
So watch out for his body as well as body language. Please welcome Nikhil.
Learn from Nagarjun, Vinay, Deepu. Father is a big chartered accountant and son is going to become a waiter. 38 in mathematics. Slapped forehead, my father. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As usual, my father was furious, slapping me now and then, right after my 9th standard final exam results were released in the middle of summer vacation. All along, I was trying to look sad and not let slip how happy I actually was for getting 38. I had expected much less. I spent the rest of the summer lazing around my friend's house, playing cricket, etc. I also frequented my grandparents' place in order to get pampered and doted whenever my parents discussed results and things got heated up. Till then, I had never taken my parents' resentment towards my results seriously. But then it started to appear to me that they are getting more serious about it. This time the resentment lasted a little longer. They started to seem genuinely concerned about me. Shortly after that, my school reopened and I started to escape class to play table tennis. On one such occasion, when two of my friends and I were escaping on all fours, suddenly Miss Shakuntala caught us and made a standard of the class for the rest of the period. I was bored by standing out for long and I decided to show off one of the blockbuster dance steps in a blockbuster Telugu movie called Indra. And I went tin 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 tin. But as I was doing this, Miss Shakuntala was standing at the corner of the door and was sneaking out at me. The next day, my parents were called. As long as Miss Shakuntala complained about me, they were sitting there without uttering a word, their heads held low. Shortly after that, my first unit test started with Sanskrit test. I had not prepared at all, so I decided to rely on my friend's preparation. I didn't know the answer for the first question in the Sanskrit test, which was, what is the meaning of the word chakra? So in my typical style I decided to ask my friend, and in my typical style I went, I'll never forget what my friend did. He looked at me and did this. Chakra means Indra. I never knew watching a movie could save me in an exam. And the second test was mathematics. I copied the whole paper from the friend that was sitting right next to me. While copying one question, I stretched my neck a little too much and a heavy hand fell on my shoulders. I sheepishly turned to look at who it was, and guess who? It was the villain Shakuntala. I was made to sit far away from the class and write the rest of the test. unexpectedly, I failed 4 out of 6 papers and I got only 28 out of 100 in mathematics. I expected a lot of cold treatment and shaming by my parents at home. At dinner that night, I was sitting diagonally across from my father. I was eating and hesitantly I said, I got 28 in mathematics. Instead of lashing out at me, my father looked at me calmly and said, let's discuss this post-it. I was surprised. I was touched at the same time. I had expected a lot of lashing out. After dinner, he had a long look at my paper. He put his arms around me in a concerned yet a caring tone. He said, why aren't you giving best in your exams? What is bothering you? You can share with me. I cannot tell you how heard and respected I felt at that moment. I'd never felt so heard and respected my entire life. I was moved to tears. So that night, all I could think was how I can do exceptionally well in the next test, particularly in mathematics. Next morning, in the maths period in my class, my maths teacher asked me, how much did you get? I said 28. Then, as if to humiliate me, he asked me, no, stand up on the bench, tell me digit by digit, gesturing the numbers with your hands, how much you got. So I stood up on the bench, I said 2, 8, 28, and I broke down in front of the whole class. It humiliated me so much. This really fostered my determination to do exceptionally well in mathematics. Right from the next day, I started to get up at 4 in the morning, studying only mathematics till 6 o'clock, and then study rest of the subjects after that. I joined a maths tuition where the tuition teacher had a unique knack of explaining the subjects amidst a lot of humor and amidst a lot of jokes. This got me interested in the subject. Once he conducted a test wherein I got 80 out of 100. I had improved very much by then. But on counting it for the second time, I realized I got only 78. So I promptly went to him and I said, sir, I got only 78 and not 80, and you put 80. Instead of cutting off 80 and putting 78, what he did was he added 2 marks to one of the answers and made it 80. This strangely motivated me to work much hard in mathematics. With enhanced confidence and a great motivation, I took up second test. I did really well in all the subjects, and in mathematics, I was able to attempt all the questions, including choices, and I was able to complete the whole paper 15 minutes before time. And when the results were announced, guess what? I was declared 7th rank in class, and I got 100 out of 100 in mathematics. Ever since, I never got less than 95% in mathematics. Toastmasters. This was my turning point. This was the turning point in my life. We usually start to doubt ourselves. When we set out to achieve something, we usually start to doubt ourselves, and we start to believe that we don't have it within us to achieve our goals. But this little incident changed my life. It restored my confidence. It made me believe that there is nothing I can achieve. So, Toastmasters, I leave you with the thought that with enough dedication, enough sincerity, enough hard work, there will come a turning point in our lives which will change us and will take our life to the next level. Over to you.
Thank you, Nikhil. It was one of the most powerful speeches I've heard in a long time in this club. Huge round of applause for